41. Do you have a hole in your head? Song Yunfei smiled and walked over, saying, Manager Lee is a veteran here. The house she recommends will definitely be fine. Sister Li Shan is a senior consultant here and knows the listings better than anyone. If she thinks it's good, it must be after careful consideration. After saying that, she looked at Li Shan. Sister Li Shan, thank you for helping me receive my clients. I'll handle the subsequent signing process. Since you've been such a big help, I'll treat you to a meal later. Li Shan's face instantly turned livid. The clients she had worked so hard to steal were slipping away just like that. She flared up in anger and questioned Song Yunfei, what do you mean by this? Song Yunfei looked at her innocently. I mean exactly what I said. Isn't Sister Li Shan helping me? Li Shan was almost laughing out of anger, but she remained rational and didn't want to argue in front of the clients. She smiled and said, I just remembered there's some information for this property I forgot to bring. Why don't you come with me to get it? Song Yunfei naturally wouldn't go out with her, her face still wearing a smile. Didn't Mrs. Chow say she was very satisfied? I think most of the information is already here, so let's not go through the trouble. You. Li Shan was so angry that her clenched fists made a cracking sound. She glared at Song Yunfei and blurted out what was on her mind. I'm the one who received these clients. I'm the one who recommended the house. What do you mean you'll handle the rest? Seeing this, the couple understood what was happening and watched the two of them in silence. Mr. Chow wanted to leave out of embarrassment, but Mrs. Chow held him back. Song Yunfei was stunned for a moment, then said aggrievedly, Sister Li Shan, why would you say that? Mr. and Mrs. Chow were originally my clients. It's written in black and white in the system. You were just helping to introduce them while I was temporarily away. Now that I'm back, I should naturally continue the service. Besides, the fact that this house caught their eyes shows its conditions are indeed good. No matter which of us handles the follow-up, isn't it all for the customer's satisfaction? Li Shan was so angry she almost spat blood. It was precisely because Song Yunfei wasn't there that she took the chance to steal the clients. Didn't they say this woman took 4 days off? Who on earth leaked the news to her? She thought Song Yunfei was just a newcomer and could be bullied easily, but she didn't expect the woman to be so sharp-tongued. The house she had pushed was hard to sell, so the commission was high, but it also meant dealing with the trouble the clients might bring later. However, as long as Li Shan completed this deal, she could be transferred to another branch as a manager next year, and she wouldn't have to worry about the couple bothering her. If Song Yunfei took it back now, it would be difficult to sell a house like this again. Most importantly, if Song Yunfei took the commission and the couple came back to cause trouble later, they would definitely look for her. How could she take such a loss? Li Shan thought about everything that might happen, her chest heaving violently for a while. Then, she suddenly blurted out, Good. It's not good at all. She looked at Mrs. Chow and her husband. Don't listen to her, she doesn't know anything. She doesn't even know where the house is located. That house has terrible western exposure, and the floor above is the equipment floor. The soundproofing is awful. If you buy it, don't expect to ever get a good night's sleep. As soon as she finished speaking, the reception room fell deathly silent. The couple looked at Li Shan in shock, and even Song Yunfei looked at her with surprise. Just now, seeing Mrs. Chow's attitude, she hadn't bothered to argue with them anymore. Since they liked it, she was going to just let them buy it. After all, the commission was high, and any future problems would have been Li Shan's to deal with. She had guessed Li Shan might find a way to ruin the deal, but she hadn't expected her to be so blunt. It was a classic case of shooting herself in the foot. Li Shan also realized she had misspoken, and her expression shifted rapidly. She quickly explained, Actually, these aren't big problems. I was just about to go out and talk to her about this, thinking if I could ask the manager for another discount. Since this is indeed the last unit left, it would be compensation for your two buying this house. Although she tried to fix it, the couple's expressions remained very grim. Li Shan was definitely hiding more than just that. There must be other problems with the house. Even if there weren't, after hearing that Li Shan had intentionally concealed information, the two no longer had any intention of buying. Mrs. Chow stood up directly and said, "We'll look around some more." Song Yunfei didn't stop them. After these few interactions, she knew exactly what kind of temperament Mrs. Chow had. These two likely wouldn't trust them anymore. Li Shan didn't try to make them stay either. She knew she had messed up this time. Even if she persuaded them to come back, the sales performance wouldn't be credited to her. If the deal was off, so be it. If she couldn't have it, no one would. Li Shan glared at Song Yunfei and turned to walk out. But less than 5 minutes later, both of them were summoned to the office by manager Zhang Tao. Someone outside had overheard their argument in the VIP room and had already reported it to manager Zhang Tao. In the office, manager Zhang Tao's face was dark, his anger unconcealed. "Li Shan, do you have a hole in your head?" He pointed at Li Shan's nose and scolded, "It's one thing to steal a colleague's client, but to talk nonsense in front of them, expose the house's flaws, and drive them away. Is that how you do things? You've worked for so many years, has all that experience gone to the dogs? How could you make such a rookie mistake?" Li Shan hung her head and didn't dare say a word. What manager Zhang Tao said was the truth. She had stolen the client first and then talked nonsense in front of them. Even she couldn't understand why she had made such a low-level mistake. After finishing with Li Shan, manager Zhang Tao turned his attention to Song Yunfei. He pointed at her but didn't know how to scold her for a long time. Song Yunfei hadn't done anything wrong, and she hadn't sabotaged Li Shan when she was recommending other properties. She had only fought for her client in the reception room, but that was only natural. She was just protecting her own interests. Manager Zhang Tao held it in for a long time before finally withdrawing his hand resentfully. In the end, he didn't scold Song Yunfei. Li Shan had a month's performance pay and bonuses docked, and an internal notice was issued. She didn't just lose the deal, she lost face too. The way she looked at Song Yunfei was as if they shared a deep, bitter feud. Song Yunfei also apologized to Sister Li. Sister Li didn't care, likely having expected this outcome. Seeing Li Shan suffer and lose face, Sister Li actually gave Song Yunfei a rare smile. "You're quite something. You have a bright future ahead of you." Song Yunfei didn't know if she was being praised or if it was sarcasm, but it didn't matter anymore. After exchanging a few pleasantries with Sister Li, she left the sales office. Chu Jinan was still waiting outside. She couldn't keep him waiting forever. Leaving the sales office, she saw the man under the shade of a tree across the way. "This guy," she told him to leave first, yet he's been standing there all this time. Isn't he hot? Chapter 42. You're still happy even though they ran away. Song Yunfei jogged over. The difference between the indoor and outdoor temperatures was like two different seasons. The sudden heat made her head buzz. "Didn't I tell you to go take care of your own business? Why are you standing here?" Chu Jinan glanced at her and tucked his phone into his pocket. "Haven't you eaten yet?" Song Yunfei paused. Now that he mentioned it, she really did feel a bit hungry. "Then let's go back and cook." Chu Jinan nodded. Song Yunfei sat on the electric scooter, but the heat from the seat made her jump up instantly. So hot. Just as Chu Jinan started to drive off, Song Yunfei, standing on the footboard and feeling unsteady, instinctively hugged him from behind. The scooter suddenly stopped, and Chu Jinan turned to look at her. Song Yunfei, with her arms around his neck, gave an embarrassed smile. "Then just stand and hold on tight." "No need." Song Yunfei let go of him and sat back down, enduring the scorching heat. "All right, let's go. It's not that hot anymore." Chu Jinan waited for a moment to make sure she wouldn't jump up again before driving the scooter away. They went to the wet market to buy groceries first before heading home. Song Yunfei simply prepared 3 dishes, and the two of them sat at the small table. Chu Jinan suddenly asked, "Is the matter resolved?" Song Yunfei grinned and nodded. "Resolved. I made the client storm off in a huff." "You're still happy even though they stormed off?" Song Yunfei sighed and laughed helplessly. "It's better than having them snatched away. Besides, Li Shan was punished too, so of course I'm happy." Although company regulations forbade stealing colleagues' clients, most people turned a blind eye. Especially for veteran employees like Li Shan, bullying newcomers was common. If Li Shan hadn't caused a loss for the company today, manager Zhang Tao probably wouldn't have punished her. After hearing her story, Chu Jinan said thoughtfully, "Then be careful at the company." Song Yunfei smiled. "I know, don't worry." Chu Jinan said no more, and the two ate in silence. After the meal, Chu Jinan went to work. Song Yunfei stayed home to train Quan Quan to use the bathroom in a fixed spot. It was better to have the dog go outside, otherwise, the smell inside would be too strong. She bought a dog bed online and also looked at a suit for Chu Jinan. She couldn't afford an expensive one, something around 1,000 yuan would be about right. She took a fancy to a black suit but could only add it to her shopping cart for now, waiting until Chu Jinan got paid to buy it. Thinking about salaries, Song Yunfei began to worry again. When would she finally be able to make some money? She had been working for almost half a month and hadn't sold a single house yet. Song Yunfei spent the afternoon feeling depressed at home, but she did successfully stop Quan Quan from relieving itself indoors. Every time Quan Quan was about to go, she would immediately pick up the puppy and rush outside to let it do its business there. After several repetitions, Song Yunfei finally didn't see it making any motions to urinate or defecate in the house. Just as she was preparing to go buy groceries, manager Zhang Tao suddenly called her. Song Yunfei was a bit puzzled. Why was this guy calling her for no reason? Could it be because of the client from earlier today? However, she had no performance metrics, commissions, or bonuses to lose. Having nothing to lose, she immediately answered manager Zhang Tao's call. "Hello, Manager Zhang. Little Song, there's a client who wants to sell their house. Go to their home to take a look and do an appraisal." Song Yunfei was somewhat surprised. Manager Zhang Tao was actually giving her an assignment, and an errand-running one at that. She wondered if he wanted her to suffer a bit to balance things out for Li Shan after punishing her. Since it was a task assigned by her boss, Song Yunfei couldn't refuse. "All right. I'll send you the address and information. Head over there now." Song Yunfei frowned. "In such a hurry? Someone wants to buy this house and is pressing for it. Hurry up and take a look. This commission will count as yours." Song Yunfei hummed in response and hung up. Soon, she received the information from manager Zhang Tao. The house was in the old district, not far from where she lived. The seller was an old madam living alone. This old madam had said she wanted to sell the house 2 months ago but had recently changed her mind. Several people had gone there but couldn't close the deal. Although it was an old house, the location was excellent. It was near a subway station, with a bus stop right outside the community, and it was in a good school district. Houses in this location generally weren't hard to sell or rent. Song Yunfei curled her lip. Since so many people couldn't handle it, she might not be able to either. She got up and went out, taking the bus. It was exactly 3 stops away. Following the address, Song Yunfei found the old madam's house. It was on the first floor and had a small courtyard outside. Some vegetables were planted in the courtyard, but they looked withered. She happened to see a white-haired old madam watering the garden. Song Yunfei walked over and greeted her from outside the courtyard. "Hello, Grandma." The old madam looked up at her, and her expression immediately turned unfriendly. "Another one here to buy the house. Go away, I'm not selling." After saying that, without waiting for Song Yunfei to speak, the old madam turned and went inside, slamming the door shut. Song Yunfei had no choice but to enter the building and go around to the front door to knock. Mom, I'm just here to chat with you, not to buy the house. Grandma. However, despite knocking for a long time, the old madam didn't even open the door. She knew it wouldn't be that simple. Just then, a neighbor opened their door and said, "Oh, don't bother knocking. She has a very strange temper, she won't sell." Song Yunfei was puzzled. Looking at this middle-aged woman, she hurriedly walked over to gather some information. "Big sister, why is that?" Hearing her being called big sister, the woman looked a bit embarrassed. She gave a couple of dry laughs, and her tone became kinder. When she was young, her husband ran off and took their daughter with him. She was traumatized. Song Yunfei couldn't help but sigh inwardly. Is that so? Then if she wanted to sell the house before, why did she suddenly stop? The one who wants to sell is her son, not her. Song Yunfei understood. I see. Song Yunfei chatted with the woman for a while, then looked at the tightly closed door and could only leave dejectedly. If she couldn't even see her face, how was she supposed to negotiate? Song Yunfei walked to the bus stop to wait for a bus and called the old madam's son. He didn't answer, likely because he was at work. She couldn't help but wonder, why did the old madam's husband only take one daughter? Why didn't he take them all? While she was looking down at her phone, several honks from an electric scooter sounded in front of her. Song Yunfei looked up and saw that it was actually Chu Jinan. "You." She had only said one word when Chu Jinan interrupted her. "Quick, get on, you can't park here." Song Yunfei snapped out of it, hurried over to him in a few steps, and got on the scooter. Chu Jinan twisted the throttle, and the scooter sped off, turning into another lane. Seeing the congested traffic, she was so scared that she tightly hugged Chu Jinan's waist. "Slow down with so many cars. Don't weave through traffic." He seemed not to hear her, which scared Song Yunfei into hugging him even tighter, her body pressed almost completely against Chu Jinan's back. Chapter 43, Truly Like a Different Person. Upon reaching another road, Chu Jinan finally slowed down, weaving slowly through the congested traffic. He finally spoke, asking, "Why were you there?" Song Yunfei sighed. "Manager Zhang Tao gave me a difficult client and told me to go check things out." As she spoke, she felt something wasn't quite right and added, "Sigh, in this line of work, there's no such thing as an easy client." "Then why don't you change jobs?" Song Yunfei found it a bit funny. Would changing jobs mean there are no more difficult clients? Chu Jinan fell silent. The two of them went to the wet market to buy groceries. At this hour, the market was extremely crowded, people were everywhere, and it was almost impossible to squeeze into any of the stalls. Song Yunfei struggled to squeeze into the crowd and then struggled back out, her hair completely disheveled. "It's all Manager Zhang Tao's fault for not calling me earlier," Song Yunfei complained as she handed the vegetables to Chu Jinan. She had originally planned to go grocery shopping in the afternoon, but she got delayed and ended up hitting the rush hour. Chu Jinan glanced at her messy hair and took the groceries from her hands. After returning home, Song Yunfei flopped onto the sofa and didn't want to move. Running around all day had been truly exhausting. Seeing that she had no intention of cooking, Chu Jinan turned and went into the kitchen himself. Song Yunfei was busy thinking about how to persuade the old madam to sell the house and had no heart for cooking. She let him be. If it tasted bad, she'd just treat it as dieting. A short while later, the old madam's son returned her call, and Song Yunfei quickly answered. "Hello, Mr. Wu, I'm Little Song from Jinlong Real Estate." A middle-aged man's voice came from the other end. "Hello, are you calling about the house?" "Yes, that's right. I wanted to understand the situation from you." There was a moment of silence on the phone, followed by a sigh. "It's like this, my mother is getting old." Mr. Wu explained that he worked out of town and had bought a house in city, where his son and daughter attended school. Now that the old madam was elderly, he didn't have time to come back and care for her. He had finally managed to agree with his wife to sell the house and bring the old madam over to care for her, but the old madam insisted on staying in that house and refused to leave. So, Mr. Wu contacted the agency, asking them to persuade the old madam. Song Yunfei understood the background and stated she would do her best to persuade the old madam. The son's intentions were good. When elderly people get old, it's much more convenient to have someone nearby to care for them. Some elderly people are just nostalgic and can't bear to leave their old homes. This kind of ideological work is hard to resolve in a short time. Over there, Chu Jinan had finished cooking and brought the food out, signaling for her to come eat. Song Yunfei hung up, washed her hands, and sat at the dining table. Looking at the dishes, which looked and smelled good but lacked flavor, she felt like eating but had no appetite. She looked up at Chu Jinan. Did you follow an online tutorial to cook this? Chu Jinan paused and nodded slightly. Is there a problem? Not exactly a problem. Chu Jinan roughly understood her meaning. In the past, whenever she felt she'd gained weight, she would make Chu Jinan cook, saying that eating his food helped her lose weight. When she didn't need to lose weight, she would order takeout herself. If it's not good, order takeout, Chu Jinan said, reaching out to clear the bowls. Song Yunfei quickly stopped him. Don't, I didn't say it wasn't good. Look at you, acting on impulse again. Chu Jinan withdrew his hand expressionlessly and began to reflect. I followed the tutorial exactly. I don't know why it doesn't taste good. Song Yunfei comforted him. It's not that it's bad, it's still edible. Maybe you just haven't done it enough and aren't practiced. It'll get better after a few more tries. Chu Jinan gave an of agreement. Perhaps. Song Yunfei smiled. How about this? Next time you cook, I'll watch to see which step is going wrong. Okay. After their simple meal, Song Yunfei went to wash the dishes. Coming out and seeing the pitiful little dog in the cage, she slapped her forehead. I almost forgot about you. She simply poured the leftovers into the dog bowl to see if it would eat. To her surprise, it quite liked it. Its little head was almost buried in the bowl. It hadn't even been this enthusiastic when eating dog food. Song Yunfei squatted on the floor, turned back, and smiled at Chu Jinan. Look, Quan Quan has already approved of your cooking. Chu Jinan sat on the sofa, silently watching the person and the dog. Seeing that he wasn't speaking, Song Yunfei curled her lip and looked back to continue watching Quan Quan eat. Chu Jinan stared at her and the dog for a moment, then suddenly picked up his phone and opened the camera to take a photo of her. Chu Jinan opened his album. There was only this one photo, a photo of Song Yunfei. He had never taken one before. His album was almost entirely various work screenshots. He tapped on the photo he'd just taken. She was wearing a white short-sleeved shirt, denim shorts, and purple lamb slippers. She was stroking the dog's head with a smile on her profile. Her loose high ponytail and messy stray hairs gave her a somewhat lazy vibe. Because of her posture, her shirt had slid up a bit, revealing her fair waist. Chu Jinan stared at the profile in the photo for a long time. It had to be said that during this period, Song Yunfei had indeed changed a lot. Her temperament had changed, and even her facial features seemed different. In other words, she truly seemed like a different person. It ate everything so clean. It looks like we'll save quite a bit on dog food in the future. Song Yunfei's voice pulled back his thoughts. Chu Jinan looked up at her. Song Yunfei had already stood up holding the puppy. I'm going to take Quan Quan out for a walk. Do you want to go? Chu Jinan nodded. Song Yunfei grinned at him. Let's go. As the two walked out the door, they happened to run into Li Zhao, who was also returning. She greeted them with a smile. Are you two going out for a walk? Before Song Yunfei could speak, she saw the puppy in her arms and walked over with a delighted expression. Oh, you got a dog. It's so cute. Li Zhao reached out and rubbed Quan Quan's head, her face full of smiles. It was clear she liked small animals too. Song Yunfei said, "We picked this one up, we didn't buy it." Li Zhao gave an, "Oh, you two are surprisingly caring. I actually wanted to raise a small pet or something, but I have no time because of work during the day, and I'm afraid it would make a mess in the house." Song Yunfei suggested, "You could get a cat. A cat probably wouldn't make a mess." Li Zhao nodded. "Yeah, I'll consider it when the time comes." As she spoke, Li Zhao turned her gaze toward Chu Jinan. "It's lucky I ran into you too. Brother Chu, the light switch in my house is broken. Could you help me take a look?" Chu Jinan's brow furrowed slightly, and he refused her without hesitation. "Find an electrician." Li Zhao's smile became a bit awkward. Song Yunfei nudged him and gave Li Zhao a compensatory smile. "Sister-in-law, has Brother Wang already left?" "He's gone. He left yesterday. Otherwise, I wouldn't have asked Brother Chu to help me." Song Yunfei remembered that Brother Wang had treated them to a meal before and asked them to look after Li Zhao, so she agreed on Chu Jinan's behalf. "That's fine. Let him take a look for you." Chu Jinan turned to look at Song Yunfei, his brow furrowing even tighter, his face written with reluctance. Song Yunfei, however, was already pulling him toward the neighbor's house. Seeing his reluctant expression, Li Zhao didn't get angry. Instead, an amused look appeared on her face. She opened the door and walked in, pressing the switch on the wall for a while. Sure enough, the light flickered on and off. "Wait here, I'll go get a ladder for you." Watching Li Zhao enter the room, Chu Jinan finally glared at Song Yunfei. Song Yunfei looked at him in confusion. "Why are you glaring at me?" Chu Jinan's lips moved, but in the end, he said nothing. He just kept a dark face and turned his head to the other side, no longer communicating with Song Yunfei. Chapter 44. A feeling never felt before. Song Yunfei looked at him suspiciously. Could he really have some sort of conflict with Brother Wang? Considering Brother Wang's sudden departure for another city, combined with this guy's attitude, it really was possible. Was it just that neither of them wanted to admit it, so they acted like everything was fine on the surface while a rift had actually formed in their hearts? Li Zhao was already a mother, and since she usually had little contact with Chu Jinan, Song Yunfei naturally didn't think of anything else. While she was lost in thought, Li Zhao had already brought the ladder over. She gave the two of them a strange look. "What are you two doing standing at the door? Come in." Chu Jinan walked in with a dark expression. He first went to turn off the main circuit breaker before checking the switch by the door. "I'll find some tools for you. Just tell me what you need." Li Zhao squatted on the floor to rummage through the toolbox. Since Chu Jinan was naturally tall, he only had to look down to see the cleavage pressed out of Li Zhao's chest. He looked straight ahead without blinking and said expressionlessly, "Screwdriver." Li Zhao rummaged through the toolbox for a long time before finally finding the screwdriver and handing it to him. Song Yunfei stood at the door, unable to see what was happening inside, feeling only that it was very hot. Before long, she was covered in sweat. She also saw the sweat trickling down Chu Jinan's forehead, sliding along his well-defined cheeks and slowly dripping from his chin. He seemed to be carrying quite a bit of resentment. After 10 minutes or so, Chu Jinan handed the tool back to Li Zhao. "It's fixed. Just turn the circuit breaker back on." Li Zhao took the screwdriver and said with a beaming smile, "Thank you, Brother Chu." Chu Jinan said nothing, turned around, and walked out. He didn't even speak to Song Yunfei, heading downstairs on his own. Song Yunfei hurried to catch up. "What's wrong? You're not actually angry, are you?" Chu Jinan paused and turned to look at her. "Can you please not interact with her in the future?" Song Yunfei was taken aback. "Why?" Chu Jinan hesitated several times but still didn't say why. "Never mind, let's go buy a leash first." They had bought everything else earlier but forgot the leash. The two of them had to go to a pet store 5 kilometers away to get one. When they put Quan Quan on the front of the electric scooter, it was still a bit uneasy and tried to jump off. Chu Jinan caught it several times. Finally, Having no other choice, he had to pin it between his legs. Only then did the little fellow settle down. After a brief moment of panic, Quan Quan seemed to get used to the speed. It began to stick its head out and look around, no longer attempting to jump off. Song Yunfei was quite surprised. She hadn't expected the little guy to be so smart. They bought a leash at the pet store and put it on. On their way back, they walked along the river. Chu Jinan rode the scooter alongside them while Song Yunfei led Quan Quan across the overpass walkway. Likely because it had been cooped up for too long, the little guy's four legs moved incredibly fast. Song Yunfei could barely keep up with it. Slow down, Quan Quan, stop running. If you keep running, I'll hit you. Quan Quan trotted ahead joyfully, the leash pulled taut. As Song Yunfei was dragged along by it, her voice sounded exceptionally clear in the empty night air. The streetlights beneath the overpass cast dappled reflections of light upon the river's surface. Chu Jinan followed at a short distance. Watching the figure running ahead under the lights, his gaze became somewhat dazed. Chu Jinan, look, it's chasing its own shadow. Song Yunfei turned around. The breeze ruffled the stray hairs by her ears, and her face wore a brilliant smile. Chu Jinan looked up and met her eyes, which were brimming with laughter. They were clean and bright, as if all the light in the world had been gathered into them. It was a very ordinary scene, a very mundane night. Yet it held an indescribable sense of peace and warmth. In an instant, it was as if a part of Chu Jinan's heart had been seared by her gaze. This scene actually gave rise to a strange feeling within him. Having lived together for half a year, this was the first time he had ever felt such an emotion. It was so foreign that it hadn't even existed in his subconscious. To him, opening his eyes meant passively accepting this relationship and doing what a boyfriend should do, yet his subconscious still felt that something was wrong. His past feelings towards Song Yunfei, the resistance, the annoyance, all had traces in his subconscious, or were at least familiar. Only this feeling right now was absent, it had never existed before. His brain had no record of it. It was as if it had appeared in his mind out of thin air. Yeah, Chu Jinan responded softly, appearing somewhat distracted. Song Yunfei curled her lip. To space out even while taking a walk, how boring. She turned and continued walking forward. Suddenly, she saw an old madam up ahead with a hunched back. The bag she was carrying had broken, and the oranges inside had fallen out, rolling everywhere. Seeing her about to step down the stairs onto the road to pick them up, Song Yunfei hurriedly ran over and stopped her. It's dangerous. Let me pick them up for you. After saying that, she hooked the leash onto a stone pillar on the railing and went down the steps to pick up the oranges. The old madam stared at her for a moment but said nothing, bending over to pick up the ones near her. A few rolled down the slope toward the back, right next to Chu Jinan. He also got off the electric scooter and stopped those oranges. Before long, the two of them had picked up all the oranges from the ground and brought them back to the old madam. Old, Song Yunfei only then noticed that the elder before her was actually the old madam she had visited that afternoon. It's you, grandmother. The old madam clearly recognized her as well. She didn't even want the oranges anymore and walked away with a dark face. Song Yunfei, still holding the oranges in her arms, turned back blankly and exchanged a look with Chu Jinan. She hesitated for a moment, then chased after the old madam. After catching up to the old madam, she handed over the plastic bag. Mom, your things. The old madam glared at her somewhat angrily. Don't bother me anymore. I said I'm not selling, and I won't sell unless I'm dead. Song Yunfei paused and didn't chase after her again, to avoid leaving another bad impression. Chu Jinan rode the electric scooter to her side and asked, Is this that difficult client you mentioned? Song Yunfei nodded. Yeah, isn't she difficult? She won't even talk to me. Chu Jinan looked at the staggering figure ahead. What's the situation? Song Yunfei gave him a general summary. As Chu Jinan listened, his brow began to furrow. Noticing his expression was off, Song Yunfei asked, "What's wrong?" Chu Jinan said, "If that Mr. Wu really just wanted to make it easier to care for the elder, he could have just picked her up first and sold the house slowly later. There's no need to be in such a rush." Song Yunfei rubbed her chin and murmured, "But Mr. Wu said it's because the old madam refuses to leave that he wants to sell the house." Chu Jinan glanced at her. Does selling the house mean the elder will be willing to leave? If he truly had filial intentions, he should have persuaded the elder first instead of acting behind her back and doing things that make his mother unhappy. Song Yunfei was stunned for a moment, then suddenly realized. "Are you saying this Mr. Wu has a problem?" Chu Jinan said thoughtfully, "He might not necessarily have a problem, but I just feel that his words don't match his actions. You should find out more. You can't just listen to Mr. Wu's side of the story." Song Yunfei nodded and gave him a thumbs up. "You have a point. Come on, let's go to the old madam's neighborhood right now to ask around." She picked up Quan Quan and placed it on the electric scooter, then turned and got on herself. "Let's go. Move out." The corners of Chu Jinan's mouth twitched. "It's so late. Can't we go tomorrow?" Song Yunfei checked the time and habitually reached out to hug his waist. "How is it late? It's only past 8. The square dancers haven't even dispersed yet." Chu Jinan fell silent and looked down at the hands around his waist. Chapter 45. I wish you could always be like this. With no other choice, he could only start the electric bike and head towards Star Community. When the two arrived at the community, the square dancing had just ended, and people were walking home in small groups. Song Yunfei went to the building where the old lady lived and waited at the stairwell entrance, asking anyone who passed by. The old lady had lived here for many years, and quite a few people knew her. "Her son, I've hardly seen him come back. I heard he's doing quite well for himself out there." "Old Madam Chen, the one who often collects trash in the community." "Oh, her, I know. Her son really came back after going to university, but he did return last year for the new year. Speaking of which." The speaker was a woman in her 50s, quite familiar with old Madam Chen, and she chatted endlessly about other people's gossip. It was said that last year, that Mr. Wu brought his family of 4 back, and old Madam Chen, despite her age, still cooked for them. That alone was bad enough, but that scoundrel hypocritically gave old Madam Chen 200 yuan, then immediately urged his own son to go offer New Year's greetings and had the child ask for the 200 yuan back. Before leaving, they also picked and took away more than half of the vegetables from the yard. In earlier years when his job was still unstable, he sent his children to be raised by old Madam Chen, never giving any living expenses. It was all old Madam Chen using her own money to feed and clothe her grandchildren. Because they couldn't afford new clothes, those two little ingrates even told outsiders that their grandma mistreated them, making them wear old clothes and eat leftovers. When Mr. Wu heard his children's complaints, he came back and berated old Madam Chen. If his wife hadn't held him back, he might have even hit her. As Song Yunfei listened, her anger kept rising. How could such beasts exist? Suppressing her rage, she inquired, "I heard his son wants to take her away and also sell the house. Is that true?" The woman pursed her lips, a look of disdain on her face. "What nonsense. He just wants the money. Don't think for a second he's that kind-hearted. I heard his wife lost her job. They bought a car and a house in recent years, can't repay the loans, so they've set their sights on this house. I say, old Madam Chen is right not to sell. They talk sweetly now, but if she really sold it, do you think that ingrate would care for her? If I were her, I'd rather give the house to a stranger than leave it to that ingrate." Song Yunfei nodded and thanked the woman. She then went to ask a few other elderly people in the community and learned that old Madam Chen's husband and daughter didn't run away, they died in a car accident. Initially, her parents, worried she couldn't handle it, lied and said they had gone out to work and run off. They even embezzled the compensation money to buy a house and get a wife for old Madam Chen's younger brother. Later, when old Madam Chen found out, she had a mental breakdown and her temper became volatile. Despite her bad temper, she still raised her son single-handedly and put him through university. But her son had disliked her since childhood, thinking she wasn't as gentle as other mothers. If it weren't for those two little ingrates complaining earlier, causing the mother and son to fall out, old Madam Chen would probably have already given him the house. Song Yunfei rubbed her chest. This makes me so angry. How can people like this exist in the world? I knew this manager Zhang Tao was no good, actually sending me to persuade the old lady. If I really succeeded, I'd never have peace of mind for the rest of my life. Chu Jinan took her hand. The warmth from his palm made Song Yunfei pause for a moment. Turning her head to see Chu Jinan, the fire in her heart subsided slightly. Chu Jinan said, "Now is not the time for anger. If you don't do this task, Zhang Tao will send someone else. You need to think about how you want to handle this matter." Song Yunfei also calmed down a bit. Yes, if she didn't do it, someone else would. Even if the old lady insisted on not selling, being constantly harassed by these people would make her life difficult. The best way was for her to do nothing, simply not accept this task. What others did was their own business. But thinking of the old lady's plight, she couldn't bear it. Especially because it reminded her of her own grandmother. Mr. Wu and his children complained about how little she gave, not knowing it was already everything the old lady had. After her parents passed away, her grandmother had also raised her in the same way. Song Yunfei understood deeply. She had seen her grandmother collecting bottles by the roadside after school, seen her grandmother getting up before dawn to sweep the streets, regardless of freezing cold or scorching heat. In nearly 40-degree weather, walking over 10 miles to sell vegetables, just to save 1 or 2 yuan on bus fare. You're right, let's go back and think about it first. Song Yunfei walked dejectedly towards the community exit, then turned and saw the small grocery store next to her. She changed direction and headed towards the grocery store. She bought a carton of milk, a bucket of oil, and a bag of rice. Seeing her buy these things, Chu Jinan knew what she intended to do. He didn't stop her, but silently picked up the milk and rice. Song Yunfei carried the oil herself. Leaving the store, she smiled at Chu Jinan. "Do you think I'm meddling in other people's business?" Chu Jinan shook his head slightly. "This is within our means. Kindness is not the same as meddling." Song Yunfei half joked, "I'm afraid someone will call me a do-gooder or a Saint Mary." Chu Jinan said, "Don't pay too much attention to the toxic nonsense online. You are just doing something you believe is right. Don't worry about what others think, just be at peace with yourself." Song Yunfei stared at him blankly. Under the streetlight, his blurred outline and deep eyes held a power that made her feel at ease. "Thank you," Song Yunfei murmured. "I wish you could always be like this." Being affirmed, supported, and understood by someone is a very, very happy thing. Song Yunfei fantasized again. If only he were an ordinary person, she would definitely have fallen for him even sooner than the original owner. What? Chu Jinan hadn't caught her last sentence. Song Yunfei curved her lips into a smile. "It's nothing. Let's hurry over. Grandma Chen will probably be back soon." Chu Jinan watched her for a moment but didn't press further. Carrying the items, he walked towards old Madam Chen's house. After placing the things by the door, Song Yunfei knocked on the neighbor's door. She asked them to tell old Madam Chen that these were sent by the community and not to mention her. Mainly, Song Yunfei was afraid old Madam Chen would refuse if she knew she had sent them. If it were her, being harassed by agents for so long, her attitude wouldn't be much better than old Madam Chen's. The two of them and the dog sat on the electric bike, heading towards the direction of their rental place. Song Yunfei watched the night scenery receding around them, the night breeze brushing her cheeks. She suddenly felt a bit lost. "Chu Jinan, what do you think is the meaning of life?" Chu Jinan rode the bike. The night wind whistled past their ears, making Song Yunfei's light yet heavy question somewhat indistinct. He gazed ahead, not answering for a long time. Song Yunfei smiled bitterly. What could she expect, asking someone who had lost his memory? Chu Jinan suddenly spoke, that's something you can only barely summarize when you look back after you've finished living. While you are alive, you just keep moving forward. The electric bike passed through the city's lights and shadows. Song Yunfei leaned against his back, watching the flickering lights in the distance, and said nothing more. Chapter 46, Hanging on him like an octopus. Not long after the two left, old Madam Chen returned with faltering steps. Seeing the items at the door, the old woman was stunned for a moment and looked around. There was no one in the hallway. She turned and knocked on the neighbor's door. The middle-aged woman poked her head out and said with a smile, Aunt Chen, you're back. Seeming to know why the old madam was there, the woman pointed to the pile of things on the floor. Oh, right, someone from the community came just now and brought some things for you. I'll call Dachui to carry them in for you. After saying that, without waiting for the old madam to speak, the woman shouted into the house. Before long, a burly man came out and silently helped the old madam move the things inside. There were some kind-hearted volunteers in the community who would pay out of their own pockets to send things to some elderly people living alone. But the old madam had a son, and he had a very good job, so she wasn't on the assistance list. She kept questioning the neighbor, but the woman insisted it was from the community. The old madam had no choice but to believe her. Looking at the items piled in the corner of the room, old Madam Chen fell into deep thought. Song Yunfei had already returned to the rental apartment. She was exhausted from running with Quan Quan that evening, so she turned on the air conditioner and collapsed directly onto the sofa. Turning her head, she saw Chu Jinan carrying Quan Quan to the bathroom. What are you doing? Giving him a bath. Quote. Fine, this man's germophobia was acting up again, now he wouldn't even let the dog off. Within 2 minutes, the sound of running water came from the bathroom. A minute later, Song Yunfei saw the soaking wet dog dash out of the bathroom. Immediately after, Chu Jinan chased him out. Seeing the water all over the floor, the veins on his forehead throbbed. Song Yunfei couldn't help but chuckle seeing the little fellow running all over the house. He didn't seem to realize his owner was already angry. Thinking they were playing, his tail wagged as fast as an electric fan, splashing water everywhere. Chu Jinan lunged forward, caught the little dog that was provoking him, and carried him back to the bathroom by the scruff of his neck. Song Yunfei quickly got off the sofa and ran to the bathroom. Chu Jinan held the little dog down with one hand and used the shower head with the other to bathe him. The little fellow was very restless, struggling violently in his hands. He didn't bite, but just kept struggling. Let me help you. Song Yunfei stepped forward, took the shower head from him, and squatted down. You hold him down, and I'll wash him. Chu Jinan gave an affirmative grunt and picked up the dog with both hands, letting Song Yunfei bathe him. Song Yunfei took out some pet shampoo and rubbed it on Quan Quan. Amidst the struggling, her face and body were covered in water and suds, and Chu Jinan wasn't doing much better. Gosh, where does he get all this energy? Song Yunfei raised a hand to wipe her face and continued rinsing the dog. Maybe the washing method is wrong, Chu Jinan said. As he spoke, he accidentally glanced at her neckline, which caught his eye unexpectedly. Suddenly, he didn't know where to look. Turn him over. Chu Jinan snapped back to his senses and silently turned the dog over. With their combined efforts, they finally finished bathing the mischievous dog. Chu Jinan took a towel to wrap him up and let the dog out. You shower first, I'll go dry him off. Song Yunfei looked at the water on her clothes and nodded. She went out to get her pajamas and came back in to shower. However, while she was washing, she caught a glimpse of something dark peeking out from the drain under the sink. Song Yunfei subconsciously turned off the faucet and slowly bent down to look. One look was all it took. That dark thing immediately scurried out. It was actually a huge rat. It was actually as big as her foot. The rat was also stunned, standing there and staring at her for 2 seconds. Quote. Aha! Startled by her scream, the rat forgot its way back and scurried frantically around the bathroom. Unfortunately, the bathroom was too cramped, neither side had a way out, and both were jumping around in a panic. Song Yunfei suddenly grabbed the shower head and threw whatever she could reach in the bathroom at the rat. The rat dodged quickly and actually rushed right up to Song Yunfei. Hearing the commotion while drying Quan Quan's fur outside, Chu Jinan tossed the hairdryer and the dog aside and headed toward the bathroom. Just as he reached the bathroom door, it opened from the inside. A naked figure rushed out, leaped up, and clung to him. Help! Chu Jinan froze in place and looked up. He happened to see the big black rat flash past and quickly disappear into the drain. He withdrew his gaze and looked down at the person hanging on him. What's wrong? There's a huge rat, so big, did you see it? Song Yunfei clung tightly to his neck, her legs wrapped around his waist and her face buried in the crook of his neck, the water from her hair soaked completely into Chu Jinan's shirt. Chu Jinan raised his arms to hold her waist and said calmly, I saw it. Then go kill it quickly. How can I kill it with you holding me like this? The air fell silent once more. Song Yunfei's whole body stiffened, hanging from the man's neck like an octopus, not daring to move an inch. A strange and awkward atmosphere spread through the air. A surge of heat rushed to her head. She felt her face, ears, neck, and even her entire body's skin burn up instantly. Song Yunfei's expression shifted repeatedly until she finally closed her eyes in shame, feeling utterly hopeless and wishing she could find a hole to crawl into. Chu Jinan held her and turned toward the sofa. Amidst her mortification, Chu Jinan reached the sofa and leaned over slightly, seemingly intending to put her down. However, Song Yunfei clung to him tightly, refusing to let go. It was too humiliating. She didn't want to live in this world anymore. If he put her on the sofa while she was naked like this, how could she ever face Chu Jinan again? Last time you saw a rat, why didn't you have such a big reaction? His voice seemed to carry a hint of amusement, causing Song Yunfei to look up instantly in surprise. Chu Jinan didn't seem to expect her to look up so suddenly. His deep eyes met hers directly. His face remained expressionless, but Song Yunfei was fast enough to catch the fleeting amusement in the man's eyes. Song Yunfei was stunned, forgetting even the position she was currently in. Under her direct gaze, Chu Jinan's Adam's apple bobbed slightly. He also gazed deeply at Song Yunfei. The already minimal distance between them grew even smaller. Don't you plan on coming down? He asked in a low voice, his breath brushing against Song Yunfei's face. Unbeknownst to her, his hands had moved from her waist to her legs. Song Yunfei also realized the situation and wanted to get down, but she was torn because she wasn't wearing any clothes. Moreover, the man was still holding her legs. Did he even mean for her to get down? But in the next second, the man lowered his head and kissed her. Chapter 47, Because You're My Girlfriend. Song Yunfei's body trembled. The phrase, caught between a tiger and a dragon, was now vividly embodied in her situation. She instinctively wanted to retreat, but she couldn't get down at all. The strength in her body was rapidly draining away, and her whole body hung limply on Chu Jinan. If he hadn't been holding her up, she would have already slid to the floor. Song Yunfei's mind was a mess, filled with bashfulness, panic, helplessness, and a trace of indulgence she didn't want to admit to herself. Every time like this, she couldn't control the images of her own fate that surfaced in her mind. She didn't want to follow the original owner's path, didn't want to become the original owner. A fierce battle of conflicting thoughts raged in her head. It was all the fault of this damn man, he was too alluring. Through the misty haze of her blurred vision, Chu Jinan suddenly opened his eyes, meeting her bewildered and helpless gaze. He gradually stopped the kiss. A moment later, only their lips remained quietly pressed together. After a long while, Chu Jinan pulled away. Song Yunfei's back suddenly made contact with the sofa, and a blanket was simultaneously slipped into the space between them. Only then did Chu Jinan release her. The rat ran off. "I'm going to check the drain," he said in a slightly hoarse voice before turning and walking toward the bathroom. With flushed cheeks, Song Yunfei leaned against the sofa, clutching the blanket, watching his back disappear through the bathroom door. It wasn't until the half-dry dog jumped onto her lap that Song Yunfei snapped out of it. She pushed Quan Quan aside, wrapped herself in the blanket, and went to the cabinet to get clothes to put on. She glanced back toward the bathroom. From this angle, she could just see Chu Jinan squatting on the floor, his hands fiddling with something in the drain. Song Yunfei's heart was in turmoil, her mind blank. She didn't know what she should do. Instinctively, she went to blow dry the dog. After drying it, she fetched the mop to clean up the water on the floor. In the bathroom, Chu Jinan had closed the door, and the sound of running water could be heard inside. Not long after, he walked out wrapped in a towel. Song Yunfei was stunned. Had she actually just seen his upper body? In her memory, he always wore pajamas after every shower. This was the first time she'd seen him come out wrapped only in a towel. Drops of water still fell from the tips of his hair, tracing a path down from his collarbone, over his chest and firm abdominal muscles, finally disappearing beneath the edge of the white towel. He casually dried his hair with a towel as he walked out. Looking up, he saw Song Yunfei leaning on the mop, staring at him blankly. Song Yunfei met his gaze for a moment, then hurriedly averted her eyes, pretending to be very busy as she mopped the entire room from start to finish. Chu Jinan watched her for a good while, his expression unchanged as he continued drying his hair, as if it were no big deal. After he finished blow-drying his hair, he looked back to find Song Yunfei still pretending to mop the floor. Still not done mopping. Song Yunfei jumped in fright, her head snapping up as she realized his hair was already dry. She gave an awkward laugh. "Done. It's done. I saw Quan Quan shedding again, so I mopped a couple more times." Song Yunfei put the mop back on the balcony, scurried back to bed, and got ready to sleep. After a while, Chu Jinan also came to the bedside. Then, he pulled her out from under the covers. "Your hair isn't dry. Get up and dry it before sleeping." Quote. Song Yunfei snatched the blanket back, covering herself again. "It's already dry." Chu Jinan took a strand of her hair between his fingers, gently rubbing it. "It's not dry." A vein twitched on Song Yunfei's forehead. She threw off the covers and glared at him angrily. "You are doing this on purpose, aren't you?" She now strongly suspected this man just wanted to see her make a fool of herself. Chu Jinan's face showed no expression. He lowered his gaze to her puffed-up cheeks, like an enraged squirrel. He spoke calmly, "You'll get the bed wet." Song Yunfei's mouth twitched. For a moment, she actually couldn't refute him. She had thought he was concerned about her, but he was just worried about the bed getting wet. Song Yunfei fell silent for a moment, then sat up on the bed gloomily. Since she'd already lost face, she might as well not care anymore. She wanted to get the hairdryer, but Chu Jinan had already switched it on and was holding a lock of her hair, blowing it dry. Song Yunfei stiffened, not daring to move a muscle. Unsure where to look, she lowered her eyes, fixing them on his clearly defined abdominal muscles. "Sit closer," came the man's voice from above her head. Song Yunfei mumbled an "oh," and shifted closer to him. The sound of the hairdryer echoed in the room. Song Yunfei twisted her fingers, her heart pounding fiercely. This was the first time someone else had dried her hair. This feeling was indescribably strange. After a while, a sudden impulsive thought crossed her mind. and she asked, "Why did you kiss me just now?" The first 2 times could be explained as Chu Jinan thinking she was upset about them not sleeping together, so he took the initiative to get close. But just now, she hadn't said anything. Chu Jinan had taken the initiative himself. However, as soon as she asked, Song Yunfei immediately bit her lip. This seemed even more embarrassing. The sound of the hairdryer stopped. The room fell quiet. Song Yunfei felt she could hear her own heartbeat. After a moment, she heard the man's utterly calm voice come from above her head. "I'm a man." Song Yunfei instinctively looked up, meeting his placid, unreadable gaze. He seemed to be stating the most normal thing in the world. It should have been the expected answer. Yet, upon hearing his reply, her previously frantic heart suddenly calmed down. She couldn't describe her feelings at that moment. She couldn't put it into words. "So, just because I'm a woman, if it were anyone else just now, you would have done the same." Chu Jinan was silent for a few seconds, watching the small flame that had just ignited in her eyes extinguish. A flicker of confusion passed over his face. He shook his head slightly. "No. Because you're my girlfriend." His voice remained low and steady. "Why would you ask such a question?" Hearing this, the turmoil in Song Yunfei's mind seemed to smooth out. She experienced a brief mental freeze, followed immediately by awkwardness. She had almost forgotten she was still his girlfriend. Between a couple, in a scene like just now, kissing seemed perfectly normal. He was merely following the behavioral pattern expected of a boyfriend. There was nothing inappropriate about it. She tried to salvage a shred of dignity. Then why did you?" Halfway through her sentence, Song Yunfei swallowed her words. Because she realized continuing this topic would be dangerous. Chu Jinan naturally understood her implied meaning. He casually unplugged the hairdryer, placed it on the nightstand, and only then sat down on the bed. He looked at Song Yunfei and said, "You're not ready yet." Song Yunfei's heart tightened. He could tell even that. Chu Jinan was silent for a moment, then reached out to brush her long hair behind her ear. "Besides, our situation isn't stable yet. There's no need to rush." Song Yunfei scratched her head, thinking to herself that it was more than just unstable. Their relationship was a precarious tower built on lies, with an abyss waiting below. It would collapse sooner or later. It was only a matter of time. The higher they climbed, the deeper they would sink, and the more shattered they would be when they fell. Chapter 48. Don't have such a short temper. Let's sleep. Chu Jinan turned off the nearby lamp and naturally got into bed. Song Yunfei lay back down absent-mindedly. However, before long, Quan Quan ran under the bed and began to whimper, gradually escalating into howls. "What is it barking at?" Song Yunfei quickly nudged the man beside her. If it kept barking, it would disturb the neighbors. Chu Jinan got up and switched on the bedside lamp. Song Yunfei also poked her head out to look, only to see the little fellow pawing at the bed with both paws, trying to jump up. Unfortunately, it was too small to make the jump and was spinning in circles anxiously. As soon as the light came on, it stopped barking and looked at the two of them pitifully while wagging its tail. Song Yunfei couldn't stand its pathetic gaze and scooped it up directly, turning to look at Chu Jinan. "It's had a bath, so let it sleep on the bed." Chu Jinan glanced at the little yellow dog, then at the wide-eyed Song Yunfei. He didn't say anything, but simply turned off the light, which served as silent permission. Song Yunfei smiled, rubbed Quan Quan's head, and placed it casually between the two of them before lying down to sleep. The little fellow was too small and was afraid of being alone in the dark, which was why it wanted to get on the bed. Once on the bed, it stopped making noise and curled up obediently beside Song Yunfei. Song Yunfei, also afraid of crushing it, moved to the very edge of the bed, leaving a large space in the middle. With this little fellow in the middle, she didn't have to worry about the two of them ending up in each other's arms in the middle of the night, it really killed two birds with one stone. Perhaps because she was too tired, Song Yunfei fell into a deep sleep shortly after closing her eyes. Not long after, Chu Jinan reached out, picked up the sleeping puppy, and placed it on the floor. To prevent it from barking, he even took a piece of clothing and threw it on the floor. Sensing the familiar scent on the clothes, Quan Quan opened its eyes in a daze for a moment, then curled up on the clothes and went back to sleep. When Song Yunfei woke up in someone's arms the next day, her eyes suddenly widened. She sat up abruptly and looked around the bed. "Where's the dog?" Chu Jinan opened his eyes, sat up unhurriedly, and tilted his head toward the side of the bed. "Isn't it right there?" Song Yunfei looked up and indeed saw Quan Quan pawing at the edge of the bed, wagging its tail at her. She let out a long sigh of relief, having almost thought she had crushed the dog to death. "How did it get down there?" Chu Jinan remained expressionless and said solemnly, "Maybe it was hungry and jumped down itself." "Oh." Song Yunfei didn't think much of it and turned to look at the man's abs. They were even clearer in the daylight. But after a couple of glances, he stopped letting her look, getting out of bed and leaving Song Yunfei with only the sight of his broad back. While Chu Jinan went to make breakfast, Song Yunfei took Quan Quan out to use the bathroom. It was essential to establish the habit of going outside, otherwise, being away all day, it would surely make a mess if it couldn't hold it. After a simple breakfast, as usual, Chu Jinan drove her to work. The morning was congested, but the electric scooter wasn't, and they soon arrived near her workplace. Song Yunfei was chatting idly with Chu Jinan when a deafening horn suddenly blared from behind. It sounded almost right against Song Yunfei's back, frightening her so much that she reflexively hugged Chu Jinan. Chu Jinan also nearly lost his grip on the throttle, and the electric scooter almost hit the guardrail, but luckily his quick hand stabilized it. The electric scooter slowly pulled over to the side, and both of them turned to look back. Song Yunfei's heart was still thumping wildly. She had really been scared to death just now. Upon looking, she realized it was a familiar Bentley. The Bentley also stopped, and the window slowly rolled down. Li Shan poked her head out and smiled sarcastically. "Good morning, great salesperson Song. Riding a little electric scooter to work. Sorry about that just now, I didn't see you. Didn't scare you too, did I?" Still shaken, Song Yunfei's anger flared up at the sight of Li Shan's provocative face, and she stepped off the electric scooter directly. Chu Jinan frowned and also got off the scooter. If they had accidentally hit the guardrail or another car just now, she and Chu Jinan would have been injured, if not killed. These two were practically trying to commit murder. She walked up to the car window and glared at Li Shan. "Are you sick? Deliberately cutting us off? Are you trying to commit murder on the main road?" Hearing her words, Li Shan stopped pretending. Her face darkened, and she snorted, "Go ahead and call the police then. We were driving normally, who knows if you're just trying to stage an accident with that crappy electric scooter." As she said this, Chu Jinan had already pulled out his phone and was taking pictures of the car. Seeing this, Li Shan also hurriedly got out of the car, trying to snatch Chu Jinan's phone. "What are you filming? Don't you know you're violating portrait rights? Delete that for me." Song Yunfei stepped up to block Li Shan, glaring at her fiercely. "Didn't you tell us to call the police? What are you afraid of?" "What do I have to be afraid of? I think you two really are trying to stage an accident. Get out of my way." Li Shan anxiously tried to push her. They had indeed done it on purpose just now, and if the police were called, it would very likely be classified as dangerous driving. Although her boyfriend might be fine, she was afraid of causing him trouble and being dumped as a result. The two women pushed and shoved each other, nearly coming to blows. This caused passing vehicles to slow down and avoid them, honking their horns, while some people even stopped intentionally to watch the drama. At this moment, Li Shan's catfish-faced boyfriend also got out of the car and walked over to Chu Jinan. He adopted a superior air, patted Chu Jinin on the shoulder, and spoke with a tone and expression full of contempt. Little brother, that's enough. Xiu Shan and your girlfriend are colleagues. They'll be seeing each other all the time. Don't let the relationship sour, or it'll be hard to get along in the future. The man's tone sounded calm, but there was a threat between the lines. He even pulled a business card from his pocket and handed it to Chu Jinin as if he were granting a favor. We really weren't paying attention just now, our apologies. Here's my card, let's consider it making a friend. Handing over the card wasn't actually about making friends, but rather to let this young punk know his status so he would back off. In a small place like Qingcheng, the man was considered someone of note, not an exaggeration to call him a local big shot. He didn't think much of a lower-class person like Chu Jinin who rode a crappy electric scooter. He just didn't want to make a scene on the main road. Usually, when ordinary people learned of his identity, they could only swallow their anger. However, Chu Jinin only glanced at the card and didn't take it, saying coldly, "Take your hand off me." The man was stunned for a moment, not expecting this man to be so stubborn. A flicker of anger rose in his eyes. Not only did he not withdraw his hand, but he also patted Chu Jinin's shoulder twice more heavily, his tone turning unfriendly. "Young man, don't have such a short temper. I'm kindly giving you a way out. Having a temper is a good thing, but you also have to see if you have the capital to throw a tantrum, right?" Chapter 49, Who do you think you are? Hearing this, Song Yunfei couldn't help but hesitate. This man seemed to truly have some status. Small places were a mixed bag, and the smaller the place, the more chaotic it was. Who knew what kind of power was behind this man? If this man came looking for trouble later, they probably wouldn't have a single day of peace. She was afraid of Chu Jinin getting hurt, and even more afraid that because of this incident, his identity would be exposed prematurely. In the end, she would be the only unlucky one. Song Yunfei stopped fighting with Li Shan and went to Chu Jinin's side, whispering, "Chu Jinin, how about we let it go? Maybe they really didn't do it on purpose." There was a clear hint of retreat in her tone. Chu Jinin turned his head and saw the worry and concession in her eyes. But in Chu Jinin's eyes, it felt like a constant reminder of his incompetence. Faced with the bullying of others, he could only let his girlfriend swallow her pride just to keep the peace. Chu Jinin's fingers tightened as he slowly raised his hand and brushed the man's hand away. Keeping the peace and swallowing one's pride, these words were never in his dictionary. He took the business card from the man's hand. Li Shan and the man both thought he had backed down, and contemptuous sneers appeared on their faces. But in the next second, Chu Jinin glanced at it casually and tore the business card in half. He looked up and stared at the man opposite him, his aura not losing to the others at all. "What kind of catfish are you, giving me an out? Who do you think you are?" As he spoke, he tossed it aside. The business card fluttered to the ground and was crushed by a passing car. As soon as these words were spoken, both the man and Song Yunfei were stunned. The man felt as if he had been slapped hard. He hadn't expected this person to show him no respect at all. The arrogance on his face instantly crumbled. He was so enraged by Chu Jinin's words that he couldn't even maintain his facade of composure, instantly revealing his true colors. "You're fucking loser. I gave your face and you didn't take it." The man raised his hand to deliver a slap. Chu Jinin stood there like a mountain, not even blinking. His eyes grew even colder when he heard the word, "loser." Just as the man's palm was about to fall, he raised his hand and grabbed the man's wrist. Immediately following that, a miserable scream was heard. Song Yunfei and Li Shan were even more startled. Chu Jinin gripped the man's fat wrist, squeezing exactly on the funny bone. Li Shan, standing nearby, screamed in fright. She wanted to step forward but didn't dare. "Chu Jinin, don't do anything reckless." Song Yunfei wanted to go up and pull him away. Chu Jinin said, "This is self-defense. Everyone is watching. This manager Liu made the first move. There were indeed many onlookers around. No matter where you were, there was never a shortage of people looking for excitement. Many were recording videos. These people in the videos could all be considered evidence. After saying that, he turned his hand and used the same method to slap the man's face. The damage wasn't great, but the insult was extremely potent. Liu Moke was dazed by the slap. He clutched his face and whipped his head back, his eyes bloodshot as he glared at Chu Jinan. In his entire life in this territory of King City, when had he ever suffered such a humiliating disgrace? Chu Jinan tossed his hand aside and said calmly, "Courtesy demands reciprocity. I'm returning Manager Liu's slap from just now. No need to be polite." Liu Moke was so angry that his 200 pounds of flesh shook violently. He instinctively wanted to hit back, but remembering the disparity in strength between them just now, he feared that if he moved, the other side of his face would receive a slap too. There was no point in shouting threats, it would only make him more of a laughingstock here. He glared at Chu Jinan through gritted teeth, wishing he could swallow the man alive. "You just wait." Liu Moke threw down those words, turned around, and got into the car. Ignoring even Li Shan, he stepped on the gas and drove the car away, fleeing the scene in disgrace. The onlookers scattered one after another, fearing his car might hit them. Looking at the Bentley driving away, Li Shan glanced at Chu Jinan, not daring to make a sound, and slunk away from the crowd. "Are you kidding? This guy even dared to provoke Liu Moke." Li Shan didn't want to go and make a fool of herself. Seeing that there was no more drama to watch, everyone dispersed, and the crowded road returned to normal. Song Yanfei pulled Chu Jinan's arm and said worriedly, "Chu Jinan, you hit him. He definitely won't let this go." Chu Jinan looked sideways, retracted the icy chill from his face, and instead took her hand. He comforted her, saying, "I know. But there are some things you can't back down from. Even if we endured it today, they would only push further next time. There would be endless trouble in the future anyway. Since we were bound to offend him sooner or later, why bother yielding? Giving him this blow in public today at least makes him reconsider. Next time he wants to find trouble, he'll have to think about what price he'll have to pay." As he spoke, a flash of self-deprecation crossed the corners of his mouth. A man with nothing to lose has nothing to fear, right? That may be true, but Song Yanfei was still uneasy. "Don't worry, if he really could cover the sky with one hand in this place like King City, he wouldn't have wasted so much breath on us just now. It shows he still has misgivings and doesn't dare to blow things out of proportion." Hearing this, Song Yanfei felt a bit more at ease. But she was still somewhat apprehensive, not knowing what Liu Moke would do next. As things stood, the person had already been offended, and there was no point in saying anything else. Song Yanfei sighed. "All right then, you must be careful. If he comes looking for trouble again, we'll just leave this place." They had no ties here anyway. At worst, they would just move somewhere else. Chu Jinan was silent for a few seconds before speaking. "Get on, we're going to be late." "Okay." Before driving, Chu Jinan suddenly asked, "What does loser mean?" Song Yanfei was stunned for a good while before reacting. Did this guy's ego get bruised again? But what surprised Song Yanfei even more was that he actually didn't know what it meant. On second thought, it made sense. He used to move in high society circles. Where would he have heard such words? He wasn't like them, surfing the internet with a phone whenever they were free. Moreover, Chu Jinan had amnesia, and she hadn't seen him browsing such things. He hadn't even installed any video streaming apps. It's, Song Yanfei racked her brains. It's an insult. It describes a man who is short, ugly, fat, and stupid. You don't need to care, those words have nothing to do with you. That catfish is the real loser. Song Yanfei deliberately avoided the word, poor. Because that was what Chu Jinan cared about most. He was always secretly getting upset about being poor. Chu Jinan pondered for a moment and didn't press further. he twisted the throttle and drove the electric scooter out. Neither of them spoke again. When they reached the entrance of the sales office, Song Yunfei got off the scooter with a heavy heart. Chu Jinan also went to the factory with a heavy heart and arrived at the office. Manager He, standing at the door, saw him and his eyes lit up. After Chu Jinan clocked in, he pulled him toward the office. As they walked, he said, "Little Chu, do you know how to play golf?" "Golf?" Manager He sighed and lowered his voice, cursing under his breath, "Those two Germans are coming to King City later. Those two guys love playing golf. If we can conquer them at the golf course, this business deal will be easy to talk about." Last night he had asked around, and not a single person knew how to play. Chu Jinan hadn't replied to him, so he asked specifically. This thing wasn't for ordinary people. It could be said that in the entire office, except for him, nobody even knew what a golf course looked like. Manager He didn't think Chu Jinan would know either, but he asked anyway, holding on to a glimmer of hope. Previously at the exhibition, those two German clients had only ordered about 100 pieces as a gesture. They hadn't given the big order to them. Manager He had thought there would be no follow-up and was prepared to have Chu Jinan pester them relentlessly. Who knew these two guys were coming to King City? Chu Jinan pondered, trying hard to recall, but he couldn't remember anything. Doesn't Manager He know how? Manager He touched his hair and said sheepishly, "I've only been a few times. I don't really understand that thing. When I play, it's like shoveling shit. Isn't that just pure embarrassment?" Chapter 50. You absolutely must not provoke this person. President He sighed. President Chow has already booked the venue, and other competitors will be there as well. If we don't go and fight for it, this big contract will probably be snatched away by someone else. Do you actually know how to play or not? President He brought the topic back. Chu Jinan, I don't know. President He's cheek twitched. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. What does, "I don't know," mean? Chu Jinan remained silent. Whether he knew or not was something he'd only find out once he got his hands on it. But this kind of reasoning was clearly not convincing. President He rubbed his chin. Based on this kid's previous performance, if he didn't know how to do something, he'd say so directly. If he said he didn't know, it meant he probably did. Rounding it up, that meant he knew how. President He laughed and slapped Chu Jinan on the shoulder. "Young man, don't be so modest. Come with me in a bit." Chu Jinan gave him a strange look. President He trusts me that much. President He gave him an encouraging look. Of course, you are the most honest and low-profile person in the company. I won't be wrong about you. Chu Jinan said no more. President He told him to get ready, as they were leaving at 9 o'clock. Chu Jinan suddenly asked, "President He, do you know Liu Moke?" President He paused, turned back to look at him, and looked thoughtful. The name sounds a bit familiar. Chu Jinan reminded him, Shunda Building Materials. Only then did President He show an expression of sudden realization. "Oh, I remember now. Him, I've met him twice." Kingcheng was a small circle. Even if they were in different industries, people had heard of the presidents of famous companies. Ordinary people might not know, but basically everyone in business did. Liu Moke was considered the largest building materials dealer in Kingcheng. Although he was in partnership with several people, he also had his own engineering team. So, in the Kingcheng area, he was considered quite a big deal. President He looked at him suspiciously. "Why are you asking about him?" "Nothing." Seeing his solemn expression, President He asked in a low voice, "Are you in trouble?" Chu Jinan looked at him with surprise. "Why do you ask?" President He had an "I can see right through you" expression. "Don't I know your temper by now? You don't even show respect to me, your boss. Asking about him, it's not like you are planning to jump ship, right?" Chu Jinan remained non-committal. President He advised him earnestly, "It's not that I'm lecturing you, but you really need to change the temper. Don't be so stubborn about some things, or you'll be the one suffering. To survive, you have to learn to treat people according to their status. Be firm when you need to be, and be soft when you need to be. How much is pride worth? Can you eat it? It's not shameful to bow your head when necessary. President, he sighed. Seeing his expressionless face, he knew he was talking to a brick wall. President, he didn't bother advising him further and asked again, what did you do to provoke him? Chu Jinan still refused to mention it. Nothing. TSK, you, forget it. President, he waved his hand, not wanting to talk to him anymore lest he die of anger. Get ready, follow me to the golf course in a bit. It was still early when the two arrived at the golf course, but there were already some people in the lounge. President, he ran over to greet people he knew. That's how it was in a small circle. No matter the occasion, the probability of meeting someone you knew was very high. But clearly, President, he didn't carry much weight. Others ignored him or were very dismissive, making President he quite embarrassed. Having some self-awareness, he stepped back after finishing his greetings. Then his gaze shifted, and he saw a tall, thin man by the window. He whispered to Chu Jinan. See that person, his name is Feng Tianhao. He's the one who partnered with Liu Moke to open the company. He also owns this golf course. President Li of Vayu, whom we met at the exhibition before, is his uncle. Chu Jinan looked in the direction President he pointed. 3 people were chatting at a window seat. One of them was a man in a grey polo shirt, tall and thin, about 35 or 36 years old. His looks were average, but his temperament was steady and reserved, marking him as someone of extraordinary status. Li Zhe's nephew. Yes, his biological nephew. President, he lowered his voice, his tone a mix of envy and wariness. Liu Moke was his university classmate. He's lucky to have latched onto such a powerful figure. In Kengcheng's building materials and earthworks sector, indeed no one dares to provoke them lightly. To put it bluntly, Liu Moke was just doing this man's bidding, handling the work that was inconvenient for Feng Tianhao to do himself. He was only the boss on the surface. The real person in charge behind the scenes was Feng Tianhao. President, he warned him again, it's one thing if you've provoked Liu Moke, but you absolutely must not provoke this person. Do you hear me? This man looked refined, but if you provoked him, the consequences would be even worse than provoking Liu Moke. Chu Jinan responded, thanks for the warning. While they were talking, the group President Chao invited arrived one after another. President, he stopped talking and ran over to chat with these old acquaintances. Before long, President Chao arrived with 2 German clients. The group then headed to the course, led by the staff. Song Yunfei went to the sales office, but she wasn't in the mood for work. However, Chu Jinan's public retaliation had some effect. At least Li Shan didn't come looking for trouble, other than the occasional eye roll. After Song Yunfei finished her cult ritual, she left the sales office to find old Madam Chen. Sitting on the bus, Song Yunfei watched the scenery passing by outside. The scene from earlier kept flashing in her mind, and she couldn't help but feel worried. It seemed that although Chu Jinan had lost his memories and status, that innate pride and boldness still remained. But this wasn't necessarily a good thing. For an ordinary person, pride was a hidden danger that could easily offend people. If things really became critical, she could only contact the Chu family and expose Chu Jinan's identity. Song Yunfei sighed dejectedly. She began to worry about herself, wondering what her chances of survival would be then. The bus reached the stop. After getting off, she walked toward the residential area. She didn't have much hope and didn't plan on closing this deal anymore. She just used it as an excuse to get some fresh air and didn't want to stay in the sales office. Before she reached old Madam Chen's building, someone suddenly sent her a WeChat voice call. Song Yunfei took her phone out of her bag and saw that it was actually Wu Wei calling. What did this guy want with her again? After thinking about it, Song Yunfei answered the call, and soon Wu Wei's face appeared on the screen. Wu Wei, what are you looking for me for? Wu Wei looked serious. Sister Song, did our President Chu offend President Liu? Song Yunfei was stunned for a moment before she reacted. Are you talking about Liu Muke? How did you know? Wu Wei said, a relative of mine is a foreman for President Liu. He found me and asked me to bring some brothers to teach a guy named Chu Jinin a lesson. I'm calling to check if it's our President Chu.